It's very interesting when I'm putting these games on a tier list of Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Because they're vastly different types of games. So you have a fighting game that's different than all other fighting games, and then you have an action RPG game. So it's kind of interesting. And then you have to, the criteria for rating them on a tier list is different too. Kingdom Hearts, you have gameplay and story, whereas Smash, you have like casual and competitive. So it's interesting. I'm not 100% sure why I thought this was the greatest idea for a video, but it is what it is. I was actually going to say that this game was better than Birth by Sleep, but I'm starting to change my mind because I played Birth by Sleep the other day and I actually had a lot more fun with it. So that actually leads me into today's video. I will be tiering or putting in a tier list all of the Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Games. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I have not played all of them for a long amount of time. There are some games that I barely touched. There's also some games that I have not owned. So, have not owned or currently do not own, I guess. I don't know what to say. But yeah, before I go on with the tier list, when I'm talking about the Kingdom Hearts games, I am talking about usually their final mix version or their most recent version that was ported over to the consoles. I'm not talking about their actual handheld versions. That would take forever and a half. So I am going to be going over those right now. Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Games put on a tier list. I am actually going to be going all out of order so that way you are on your toes, you're on your feet, you're in suspense. So that way, you don't just skip to the very end to figure out what I have to say. And I'm actually going to start right in mid-tier. So the mid-tier games. Now this isn't going to be in any particular order. I'm just going to be talking out my ass, as I normally do. So, the mid-tier games of Smash and Kingdom Hearts. First off, we have Smash Ultimate. Yes, I said it. Get the pitchforks, get the torches. So, Smash Ultimate is a great game. I play a lot of it, actually. But it does not make it top tier by any means necessary, or even high tier, compared to other Smash Bros. Games. When I play Smash Bros. Games, yes, I want good, clean combat, I want to have fun, but I also want to be able to have a good online experience, and at the same time, also have one-player capabilities or, a bunch of modes to play. Ultimate doesn't have that. Ultimate barely has anything. You have the World of Light, which is not even really an adventure mode, in my opinion. It's more so of a glorified grind fest. I just don't have as much fun with it as I would other Smash Bros. One-player modes, such as, obviously, Subspace Emissary, or even the adventure mode in Melee. They really did a good job with those games. In the same breath, you don't get special, modes. You only get the one race to the end, instead of, the different modes that you had in other Smash games, such as Target Test. Whether it's the Target Test from Smash 4, or the Target Test from Melee. So that is why Smash Ultimate is mid, because although it provides a great amount of characters and roster and DLC and good fun with the family or friends, I just, there's more to be desired. The online is bad, the ranking system is bad. There's just, it's just mid. It's just okay. As far as Kingdom Hearts games, Birth by Sleep is actually mid for me. I thought it was going to be lower than mid, but as I said previously, I'm starting to have a lot of fun with it. I might even play it on stream in a little bit. But the grinding is a lot more fun when you realize what you have to do. So if you're playing Birth by Sleep just to get through the stories, just to, play the base game and just get done, you're not going to have fun. You need to grind and you need to learn more. Oh no, okay. You need to upgrade your commands and then merge them or meld them together to make new commands. That's the whole premise. You're constantly cooking up different moves to use. And if you get into that and you start understanding it more, the game becomes a lot more fun than just trying to get through with your base stats, because the balancing and the scaling is not good in that game, let me tell you. As far as story, you're basically playing follow the leader, right? So the main premise is Terra's going one place, the other character you play as, Ven. Well, let me back up a second. So Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, you do something very different from the other Kingdom Hearts games, and that is you play multiple characters. And that seems very fun and very exciting, and they could have had a lot of fun with it. But because they released it for a PSP game, because that was back when all the Kingdom Hearts games had to have new releases and spin-offs on different handhelds and consoles, the limitations were there. So, you play as 3 different characters, which is really cool. You have Terra, who's very, heavy-based. He's slow and clunky. Debatably the worst character in the game to play as, but he's powerful. He has a lot of attack power. You have Ven, that's kind of like the balance of power and magic, and Aqua, who's mostly magic-based. And so, you play as Terra, you go to Disney Worlds, and then you play as Ven chasing after Terra, going to the same Disney Worlds, just a different location at a little bit of a different time. And then you play Aqua chasing after Ven and Terra at the same Disney locations, just different little areas. And yeah, it's repetitive. The worlds are very bland and lackluster. The bosses don't have the staggering mechanic of Kingdom Hearts 2. This game also came right off the cusp of Kingdom Hearts 2, so the anticipation was a lot higher, and it just didn't really deliver in the same way. It was the first time the Osaka team got their hands on the game, so they had a lot to live up to. It's not a bad game by any means necessary. It's just mid. The story is okay at best. The gameplay is slightly better, but yeah, it's nothing to really write home about. I really wish you could go to different Disney Worlds as different characters, and it wasn't just basically follow the leader. Another mid game that I have is Smash Bros. The original for the Nintendo 64. Now, I put it in mid tier because 1, I haven't played much of it, and 2, although it did grandfather in and pretty much revolutionize the fighting genre and introduce us to all the other Smash Bros. Games, it's still pretty lackluster. I understand it's for the 64, so there were graphic limitations and stuff like that. But you really only have a classic mode, a few janky custom modes, and then, a character roster that you can count pretty much on your hands and toes. Another mid-tier Kingdom Hearts game, I think, is Kingdom Hearts 0.2, A Fragmentary Passage. Technically, this isn't even a game, it's a glorified tech demo, but that is partially why I put it in mid-tier. Another reason is just because the combat, although it's displaying what the future of the Kingdom Hearts franchise was to be, is still nothing too great. Then finally, for Smash, we have Smash 4 for the... I'm just going to do Wii U and 3DS together just to make it less complicated. It's mid-tier, alright? It's on the same level as Ultimate because it's pretty much the reverse of Ultimate, right? Ultimate has better graphics, Ultimate plays better, Ultimate, has a better roster, but... Smash 4 debatably has better online, better one-player modes, so they balance each other out and they make themselves... So we have 3 Smash Bros. Games as mid-tier. Very interesting. Next on the tier list, I have the high-tier games, and for high-tier, I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and Super Smash Bros. Melee. I think these 2 games are very good. They're not top, but they're not top tier, but they are extremely well-made games. Kingdom Hearts 1, started the franchise up. The combat is very good. It's not the best because obviously it's the first, but it still does a really good job of what it was intending to do, and that was crossing over Final Fantasy and Disney together. The only gripes I really have about Kingdom Hearts 1 is the platforming that it tries to do. Oh, did I get it? Okay, it worked. I was about to say, if that didn't work, I was going to be really mad. The platforming is pretty confusing and janky at times. The camera is never good in any Kingdom Hearts game, but in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's debatably the worst. And the story is actually the most simple out of the other Kingdom Hearts games. So, that is why I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is high tier. Super Smash Bros. Melee is an interesting case because you have to look at it from both sides, the casual and the competitive, which is what I did with the other Smash games as well. So, Melee is crazy in the competitive scene. We all know this, right? It's fun, it's quick, it's exciting, you know, there's a lot of tension, and I'm talking based off of the game alone, competitively the game alone. I'm not talking about the communities or anything like that. So that makes it very good. If it was based off of competitiveness alone, it would be top tier. But because we have to put in the casual aspect of it too, I can only put it in high tier due to, once again, the limitation that it has for one-player modes. Basically, the special modes are really buggy and you can barely play them in Melee. But everything else is great. I love classic mode. I love adventure mode. I love that each character has their very own, target test. So I think those are very great features, and that is why Melee is high tier with Kingdom Hearts 1. I don't think you guys understand that playing games, streaming, and also trying to put together a YouTube video can be a daunting task, especially when you're on like 2% power mentally. And for the bottom tier of my Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Tier list is no other than Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. No matter what you play it on, the 3DS or the freaking PlayStation 4, I absolutely do not like this game. I think the story is super convoluted and borderline unnecessary, even though it does set up the rest of Kingdom Hearts 3. They could have made it a lot less complex than they need it to, but that's an opinion, as tier lists are. People are definitely going to disagree with me on that one. The gameplay, especially on the 3DS, is completely busted. You just need to spam the balloon command. Flow motion is a good idea in concept, but when you can just blink off the wall left and right, it's kind of annoying. Sora and Riku's movement speed are faster because the worlds are bigger and debatably better than Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, but that is not enough to save this game. Every time I play it, it just seems like a chore. I'm not having fun at all. Like, I wish I could say otherwise, but I don't have fun playing Dream Drop Distance. And if you do, that's fine. It's just, personally, I think it is the bottom tier out of all these games. They do a lot of things that just, I feel like, are filler. Not even filler. Nomura basically, his story, his whole arching story of Kingdom Hearts is like a ship with a bunch of holes in it. And the holes are leaking out. And Dream Drop Distance, he tries to use it as a patch to fill up some of those holes while still leading into Kingdom Hearts 3. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. The next game I have is top tier. And the top tier Kingdom Hearts and or Smash Bros. Game is Kingdom Hearts 2. Without a doubt, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite video game of all time. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. The worlds are quite bland and open, but the combat is so good. It's so responsive, and Sora has a good weight to his attacks. The abilities make sense. The story is, although very interesting, not, super overloaded like Dream Drop Distance, for example. It's just everything all of us wanted Kingdom Hearts 3 to be, and it unfortunately did not deliver. But I'll get into Kingdom Hearts 3 in a little bit. I absolutely adore Kingdom Hearts 2. There is nothing you can say to change my mind. Once again, people will definitely argue with my opinion on this, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is better than any other Kingdom Hearts game in my opinion. And it's for those reasons that I stated before. Kingdom Hearts, when it comes down to it, is an action RPG game. And the first thing you need in an action RPG game is good gameplay. Alright? Then you need a good story. It has both of these things. The rest kind of just falls, like, there are little critiques here and there. But for the most part, it is very solid on those two giant pillars that I think you need in an action RPG game. Alright, so we did the bottom tier, we did the top tier, the high tier, the mid tier. Now it's time to talk about the low tier. For low tier, For low tier, I have Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days. Yes, that is correct. I do not think that this game is that great. Don't get me wrong, the story is absolutely fantastic. Debatably the best story in the Kingdom Hearts franchise. It even introduces Xion, who is a fan favorite for multiple different reasons. Days was bottom tier because the story was fantastic, but the gameplay was much to be desired. Another... Oh, hold on. Let me get Simba out. The other low-tier Kingdom Hearts game... I don't have any low-tier Smash Bros. Games. Low-tier Kingdom Hearts game is Recoded. Recoded's story was terrible, but the gameplay was good. So it's literally the opposite of what I think Days was. Days was story was great, gameplay was bad. Recoded story was god-awful, pretty much dog shit, and then the gameplay was pretty decent. So yeah, we have one more tier left to discuss, and that would be the high mid tier, which I think is a thing. Yeah, that's totally a thing. I've heard people use high mid. Anyway, so I have Super Smash Bros. Brawl as high mid and Kingdom Hearts 3. So a lot of people are going to be upset that I put Brawl before Ultimate and before Smash 4 and before Smash 64. But everyone needs to shut the fuck up. Because although Brawl was not good competitively, it was extraordinary when it came to casual play. Mostly being in the Subspace Emissary mode. That thing was hype as hell as a kid. Not to mention, they added Solid Snake and Sonic for the first time. It was the first time in Smash games where you would have a third-party character. Yes, competitively, the game is so bad that they had to make a mod for it, but at the same time, I think it deserves to be high mid. As far as Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a trickier situation. If we were just talking about base vanilla Kingdom Hearts 3, it would definitely be mid because it did not have a lot of features. It was not that great. However, Remind, the DLC, changed everything. You got free, patches and updates on Sora's kit, and the data battles were phenomenal, along with the other DLC content. So that's what moved it up to high mid. I still think Kingdom Hearts 2 is the far superb game, but that is that. Alright, so that was my tier list for the Kingdom Hearts and Smash Bros. Games. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video for more Smash and Kingdom Hearts content. I'm OC Disaster, and I hope you have a Smash-tastic rest of your day, and let your hearts be your guiding key. See ya. That was perfect. That was a sauce and a half. Alright. Done with all that ish. Let's just play some games. No, we're on Twitch right now. We don't need that. Discord, cool. We can put the chat box on if anyone was in chat. And then we're gonna go to in-game. Alright. And then we're gonna turn all this stuff on too. We got logo. You know what? I'll have my logo on for this one. I don't really care.